Right, moving on to the press review now, and we're going to take a look at what's grabbing headlines here in France. And I'm joined on set by Solange Mougin. Good morning, Solange.
Good morning, Michelle.
And today in the French papers, they're all abuzz about the start, of course, the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang.
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement this morning in the French press about the Winter Olympics. As you can see here on the cover of L'Équipe, they profile two of the favorite French athletes, Martine Fourcade, Tessa Worley, and then inside the paper, there is a nice comparison piece of Martine Fourcade, who is the actual flag bearer at the opening ceremonies, and Jean-Claude Killy, who is the famed French alpinist. And they talk in a dual interview about the excitement of the Games and how sports have changed in the past 50 years. And Killy leaves us in the interview with a sort of motto. He says, "La victoire aime l'effort," or "victory loves effort," which is, I think, a good piece of advice for all of us.
Indeed. I have to say, Tessa Worley, I believe she's French-Australian, Franco-Australian.
And she's pretty cool.
I have to claim that for the Australians, just putting that out there.
Yeah.
Now, Solange, L'Équipe hasn't failed to mention the political implications of this year's Winter Olympics.
Yeah, they touch on it in a cartoon this morning. L'Équipe, the Sports Daily, touches on that. It's a cartoon by Faro, and you have Jung Un firing a starter gun, and an aide saying, "Supreme Leader, France also disapproves of starter guns."
Libération also has a joking tone to the political aspect of these games.
Yeah, I have to show you this cover. It's relatively amazing. It is Libération this morning. Kim Jong-un, his face photoshopped on ice skaters, and it says "Le Maître des Jeux," or the Master of Ceremonies.
Right.
Now, in the corresponding article, Diplomacy on Skis, Libération says that sending a delegation to decide to participate, by doing that, Pyongyang has sort of scored a big win. It's managed to put on hold the nuclear tensions, but it's also created a sort of positive buzz about the regime. The article warns, though, that the games and sports in general can be a politically useful diplomatic tool, but they are not an end in itself.
Okay, well, Le Figaro is also covering Olympic diplomacy in its editorial this morning.
Yeah, they have a profile on Kim Jong-un's sister. It says that her presence at the Games is a win-win, not just for the North, but also for the South, because it promotes dialogue. And that the Figaro wonders that they wonder if she's actually carrying with her a letter or a message from her brother, as they're thought to be very close. Now, Le Figaro says that all eyes will be on her at the opening ceremonies, but there's still doubt about her actual political weight.
Okay. Well, we're switching gears now to a scandal that's making headlines here in France, and that is accusations of sexual misconduct by the French ecology minister.
Yeah, to fully grasp the story, you have to understand who Nicolas Hulot is in France. Now, he was a hugely popular TV star in the 1990s of a nature show, and he is sort of an icon that some people actually hoped would become president. Now, Le Parisien says that his decision to not run for the presidency may actually have been due to this sex scandal that's coming out now. Now, what do we know about the accusations? First, that it's an old story that dates back to 2008. And at the time, Hulot was accused of raping a woman in 1997. But it was a he said, she said case, and judicially it didn't go anywhere. Now, Hulot yesterday went on TV to talk about these accusations that have now just come forward, and he has denied all wrongdoing. Now, Le Parisien says that it's impossible to know if it's true or not, but that the story is undoubtedly going to leave a stain on Hulot's reputation, and potentially on the Macron government's reputation, because this is the second minister that's been accused of sexual violence.
Okay, well, speaking of Le Parisien, that newspaper says that those accusations haven't been proven.
Yeah, and they sort of Le Parisien laments that such mediatized accusations are taken by the public and by some as truth, as proof, and that it is one of the issues of the Me Too movement, when the French equivalent balance ton port. Now, L'Opinion also picks up on this. They have a cartoon today that says, instead of saying balance ton port, which is the Me Too movement, they say balance ton politique, or balance ton pôle. And it's a wordplay that's trying to say that sometimes, but only sometimes, such accusations may be politically based or not.
Okay, well, that's one to keep an eye on. Finally, some environmental news from the south of France, where a new technique to stop water erosion is being tested. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, it's the first time ever that this technique is being used in salt water. The town of Antibes has put in place a sort of wall of bamboo 100 meters from its shores. And the idea is to create a dig that will keep one of the town's roads from frequently flooding. A concrete dig solution was an option, but it was, get this, 20 million. It would have cost 20 million euros. So the region decided not to do it, and they've decided to put this one in place, and it's only cost 500,000 euros, and it's supposed to be as efficient.
Okay, good to know. Solange, thank you very much for that. You'll be back in a couple of hours with the International Press Review, so looking forward to that. Stay with us here on France 24. More news coming up after a short break. Don't go away.